Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing video of the Wolfbox G900 rear view mirror with dash cam and rear camera. Just as a note, I also have purchased the Wolfbox G840S. This is a much lower resolution camera and screen. I believe this is 1080p, which, should probably, as far as the resolution goes on what you see, I don't know how big of a difference there's going to be between this one and the G900, but we'll see. I'll do a follow-up video with an unboxing of this, and then there will be follow-up videos of the installation. If I like the way the G900 works in my RV, I'll probably go ahead and install the 840S into my Delica van, just because I've got some stickers on the back window and it's difficult sometimes to see, especially in low light when you're going to reverse. I have a couple weird vehicles. I have a 1986 Vixen 21TD motorhome, and I also have a 1995 Mitsubishi Delica L400 that I imported from Japan a couple years ago. And so with these vehicles I run into unusual stuff. With the RV, the actual rear view mirror that's in there, because of the configuration of the interior, I only get to see about a third of the viewing space of the mirror actually out the back window. So I'm going to be putting this one in first into the RV, installing it with the rear camera on the back side of the RV, and then just have it operating continuously while we're driving. You do have the option on these to turn off the picture coming in, or the feed coming in from the cameras, and just use it just as a mirror, or it can be as a whole screen. So just some specs for the G900 here. It's got 2.5K resolution cameras that are f1.5. That lets in a lot of light in low light situations. It has WDR, which improves the night or low light picture and suppresses overexposure due to high beams or backlighting. It's an overall 12-inch full HD touch screen. The resolution on the screen itself is 1920 by 440 pixels. It has a Type-C interface. There is a parking assist option, but that requires some additional wiring. There's a G sensor, so if you get into an accident while you're driving, or if somebody hits your vehicle while it's parked, it will automatically lock those videos. What I mean by locking the videos is that this operates on a loop recording, so when it gets to the end of the memory card, it starts rewriting at the beginning of the memory card through the older videos. If a video is locked, then it will skip over that and not rewrite. When you are parked, it goes into a time-lapse mode so that it doesn't run down your battery or take huge amounts of unnecessary videos. You can set that time-lapse up to 1, 2, or 5 frames per second. It also has a GPS sensor, and the overlay from the GPS appears on the screen on the left-hand side, I believe. I also purchased 2 accessories with the G900. The first is the Type-C Hardwire Kit. This allows you to wire it into your fuse box directly or your battery leads. In order to have the time lapse during parking, you need to have one hooked to a constant battery power positive, and the other connected to a ignition on only battery source. The other accessory I bought was the 33-foot rear camera extension cord. Because I'm putting this in an RV that's 20 feet long, I need that extra 10 feet to come up from the dash, or from the mirror, through the roof and then back down to the back. Okay, so let's get started unboxing this. It comes in some pretty nice looking packaging. This was just stuffed into an Amazon envelope. No shrink wrapping or anything on it. So we're going to go ahead and slide this out, put that aside, and okay. All right, so the first thing we have here is the mirror itself, or the screen, I should say, the touch screen. So we can get it down here for some dimensions. Oop. It is 12 inches by about 3 inches high. There's the Type-C. There's your memory card spot, and then the plugins for the GPS and the rear-facing camera. There's a power button on there as well. Getting down in here into the packaging, here's one of the rubber bands that holds it over your existing rear view mirror. It's got a few adjustable straps there depending on your thickness of your mirror or the width of it. We have a cigarette lighter adapter, cigarette lighter to Type-C USB. Here we have the rear view camera with a little bit of 3M VHB tape. 3M VHB tape, if you're not familiar with it, is awesome stuff. It's a structural double-sided tape that 3M makes, and it's actually the original design or application for it when they came up with it was actually sticking decorative facades onto the exterior of skyscrapers and things like that. This is the GPS antenna. It needs to be put in an area where it's going to be able to get good signal. One more long band, looks like two short bands here. And then it's really nice they included this body panel tool. So if you need to route the cables behind any moldings or body panels inside your car, you can go ahead and click those out with that. It was nice of them to include that. A little bit more VHB tape, mounting bracket for the camera, user manual. GPS antenna is pretty straightforward. Here's the rear view camera. I was interested in seeing the shape on this. It is rated as being dust-proof and waterproof, so you can install it on the exterior. They did say that for the best resolution and the best picture, that this be installed on the exterior of the vehicle. So this is a pretty heavy little camera. It's got a pretty thick metal housing on it. It looks really durable. Like I said, it feels really solid. It probably weighs a few ounces at least. And then here is the standard cable that goes to the camera. I believe it's about 20 or 21 feet. And cigarette lighter is pretty straightforward. Let's go over to the Hardwire Kit. Again, this is the Type-C Hardwire Kit. It will work with the G840S as long as you make sure you order the newer version of the G840S that has the USB-C. The previous versions of the G840S were the micro USB, which we all know suck. So this has got the Hardwire Kit, USB-C to go up to the unit. It's got a transformer here, and then on the end here they label these leads. This one goes to the accessory, and this is the battery positive. So when you're wiring this up, you're going to want to put this fuse, if you're able to, if you have spare fuse spaces, and they do take these micro ATC fuses, you could just go ahead and plug this into a constant, always on battery positive fuse, and then this one needs to be plugged into a fuse socket that only receives power from the battery when the ignition is turned on. And obviously, you know, if we need to, we can cut the ends of these off and splice them into wires in those circuits, or you know, whatever else needs to be done. Your installation could vary based on what's in your car. This is the grounding wire. It needs to be put to a suitable ground. A lot of times people overlook grounds, but it is completing the circuit. And if you don't have a good ground, you're not going to have a good circuit, and you'll have issues. A lot of times, especially with older vehicles like my Vixen RV, you get these gremlins that happen in the electrical system, and I was able to solve about 90% of those by adding in a ground loop of 4-gauge strand copper wire that goes from the front of the RV all the way back to the rear and connects all of the negative terminals of the batteries. So that's about it. This is our unit here. Like I said, this is the accessory. The other accessory is just a longer version of that. And so we'll see. I will follow this up with an installation video. And then also, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you're interested in seeing the G840S, I'm going to be doing an unboxing video of that. All right, one thing that I realized I neglected to do when I shot the unboxing video is follow instruction number 4. Please check the functionality of Dashcam with its all accessories before installation. So I've got a USB-C here plugged in to the wall. I'm going to stick it in there and hope that it's the right voltage for it here. So we'll turn it on. Oh, there's something. My son said I have to do this on camera because it's so satisfying. This is really good picture quality on here. It's really crisp. Looks great. Let me see if I can figure out how to get the backup camera on here, or the rear view. Probably should have read the manual. Okay, so now that I read the manual, I'm going to take off the lens protector here. And so the control for switching the camera view is to swipe. Now we're seeing the rear camera. It's upside down. There is an adjustment that you can make in the menu that will flip your video both horizontally and vertically automatically. So however you mount that rear camera, it will correct the image. If you swipe again, it does a split screen view. And it stays in full resolution for split screen. The front camera is 4K, the rear is 2.5K. And the resolution on this is really good, both on the display and from the cameras. I really can't wait to see this on a computer screen so I can see how good the quality is. But so switch it again, it swaps left and right, swipe it again, you're back to the dash cam view. There's a whole bunch of other features on here that the touchscreen has and with the setup and all that stuff, but I'm not going to do that in this unboxing video. I'm going to cover all of those. Probably there's enough features where I'm going to do an installation video, and then I'm going to follow that up with a setup and initialization video to go through all the features of the camera and everything and show how well it's working on the vehicle that I'm going to go ahead and install it on. So that's it for today. If you're interested in seeing other unboxing videos of these other products or some of the weird projects that I get into dealing with these older cars that nobody else wants to work on because they're strange, you know, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for notifications. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good rest of your day.